All right. Okay. So today we are doing dynamic programming, and before we do dynamic programming, we are going to do dynamic programming for the whole of the class. But dynamic programming की आज हमने hopefully दो worksheets करनी है, maybe one or two. उससे पहले we were doing we did a gold extractor game last
Recursive.
time. Can you guys hear me? Hamza? Okay, awesome. Yeah, we were doing gold extractor game and we gave its greedy solution and we found some problem with the greedy solution, so we gave a dynamic programming solution for that. और उसके बाद then I ask you to uh, yeah, I gave you two problems and I told you that they carry heavy weight in terms of the grade in this class. Sorry, मेरा थोड़ा सा गला खराब है, so I'm either pacing up or down at times. But let me just describe the problems. Problems were एक तो ये कि you want a more efficient algorithm than the one we saw, which was order n square dynamic programming solution. इसके अंदर people asked for clarifications. One of the clarification needed was कि n क्या है इसके अंदर, right? जब हम इसको dynamic programming solution design कर रहे थे, उस वक्त we said that the grid size is n by n, which makes sense, or it's more intuitive when we are trying to show you a dynamic programming solution. But I think for a generic solution, it's a good idea to assume that n is actually the number of coins. Okay. Whatever I said last time is still correct. That's not wrong. But I'm just giving you a perspective that if you assume that the number of coins is n and you want to figure out using the rules of the game the steps which are going to give you the maximum number of coins. तो उसका algorithm आप लोगों ने design करना है, and the goal is to figure out an algorithm which takes asymptotically less time than order n square, n log n, or maybe even linear, right? Even linear, yeah, either n log n or linear. Hassan, what is it? बोलो, can you hear me? कुछ हो रहा है गलत? The second problem was to prove that a higher dimensional version of this problem is NP hard. I stated this problem without defining कि NP hardness क्या होती है. वो हम Hello, Manish, you were saying something.
Sorry, Professor. I forgot to mute my mic. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries. All right. So we're going to define NP hardness later, but I just wanted to give this week or so extra time if you just want to go and study it on your own to figure out what this problem means. Anyhow, so the dynamic programming solution, I'm gonna just take 5 minutes to give you a dynamic programming solution का जो summary है last time हमने किया था, okay? So last time what we did was, this is an example screenshot from the game that I shared link for. So what DB does is it says that when you reach this point at the top, you cannot pick any more coins, which means that the dynamic programming solution at this point is 0. Okay, you cannot pick any more coins here. Acha, I'm actually referring to the point here. Okay, ये वाला जो cell है. Not just this whole column will have 0 solution. Okay, so यहाँ पे 0 होगा, यहाँ पे 0 होगा, यहाँ पे 0 होगा, 0, यहाँ पे 0, यहाँ पे 0. Right? And what this 0 means is कि if this is your problem, you are only given this grid, जिसको मैं highlight कर रहा हूँ अब ऐसे, तो फिर you cannot pick any coins. Your answer is going to be 0. Okay? उसके बाद what DP does is it says कि when I'm trying to, for example, कहाँ से pick करूँ? दो एग्जांपल्स में पिक कर लेता हूँ which is gonna be helpful. Okay? एक ये वाली एग्जांपल है Okay, let's say I am at this point. Okay, if I'm at this point, what I want to know is what is the solution for A and what is the solution for B. Okay, um, if whatever is the solution for A, I'm going to add 1 to it if there were any coins in this area. ये वाला जो area बनता है ना, this row from this point onwards. Okay, अगर यहाँ पे कोई coin होता तो I would add 1 to the solution of A. यहाँ पे कोई coin नहीं है तो I'm just gonna pick A or solution of A to be precise. Okay, this would be one of the possibilities. और दूसरी possibilities ये है कि I pick B and I pick everything that's in this column. अगर यहाँ पे इस कॉलम के अपर साइड के ऊपर कोई कॉइन है तो आई विल पिक दैट. आई स्पेसिफिकली पिक दिस एग्जांपल टू शो यू कि यहाँ पे कुछ भी नहीं है, विच मीन्स के ईदर माय आंसर इज सोल्यूशन ऑफ ए और सोल्यूशन ऑफ बी. ओके, और इन दोनों का जो मैक्स है दैट्स व्हाट आई एम गोइंग टू पिक. ऑलराइट, दैट्स गोना बी 1, सो मेरा आंसर यहाँ पे 1 होगा. ओके ओके, एक और एग्जांपल मैंने कहा आपको दे रहा हूँ.
सर
क्या
सर 1 कैसे?
uh,
लाइक ए खाली है, बी भी खाली है, तो एक वहां पर भी कॉइन नहीं है.
श्योर श्योर, मैंने यहाँ पे ना एक स्टेप स्किप किया है. वो स्टेप ये है कि जब आप ए का सॉल्यूशन कंस्ट्रक्ट करेंगे देन यू वुड हैव टू लुक एट से दिस इज A1 and this is A2. ओके, सो जो A1 होगा ना, सॉल्यूशन ऑफ A1, दैट्स गोना बी 0. लेकिन सॉल्यूशन ऑफ A1 के अंदर आपको एक ऐड करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि द रो बिलो A1 contains a coin, है ना?
यस सर.
Right. So that's the reason that the answer for A is going to be 1 and the answer of B is, let me see, answer of B. Answer of B is also going to be 1 because I will, to find out the answer for B, I'm going to pick this row जो B से आगे है, ये वाला, और उससे ऊपर वाला जो कॉलम है उसके अंदर मुझे एक कॉइन देखने पड़ेंगे और ऊपर वाले कॉलम में एक कॉइन पड़ा हुआ है. ओके, सो बी वुड आल्सो बी 1, विच मीन्स के ए का आंसर भी 1 है और बी का आंसर भी 1 है. अब व्हेन आई एम कंस्ट्रक्टिंग सॉल्यूशन फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन मार्क सेल, आई नो दैट देयर इज नथिंग अबव दिस क्वेश्चन मार्क. ओके, तो मैं अब सॉल्यूशन ऑफ ए के अंदर कुछ ऐड नहीं करूंगा और सॉल्यूशन ऑफ बी के अंदर कुछ ऐड नहीं करूंगा. द आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन मार्क इज गोइंग टू बी 1. ओके, सिमिलरली अगर मैं अब कौन सा देखना चाहता हूँ, ये वाला देखना चाहता हूँ, ये वाला देखना चाहता हूँ. ओके, दिस इज अनदर क्वेश्चन मार्क एरिया जो मैं देखना चाह रहा हूँ. अच्छा, इसको सॉल्व करने के लिए मुझे अभी ए और बी दोबारा देखने पड़ेंगे, वट एवर ए और बी आर. इस केस में मेरा ए ये होगा और बी ये होगा. आई वुड लुक एट द सोल्यूशन फॉर ए और उसके बाद ए के अंदर मैं 0 ऐड करूंगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे कुछ नहीं है. ओके, देयर इज नथिंग इन दिस एरिया एंड देन आई एम गोना find out solution for B, और B के अंदर I am going to add 1 because this column contains coins right above the question mark. All right, so this particular area के अंदर जो मेरा solution बनेगा, that's gonna be solution of A. I'm just gonna write it A here क्योंकि जगह कम है, comma B plus 1. All right, जो भी बनेगा, I'm not doing it, but that's gonna be DP solution for this question mark point. I hope this clarifies any confusions from the last lecture. Let me know if there are any questions. Eh?
प्रोफेसर हम बी को जब चेक कर होते हैं तो हम एक कॉलम क्यों देखते हैं?
So when we are looking at B, what we are trying to do is we are trying to move the vertical extractor. We move the vertical extractor and we say that this column में कोई coin है, so let's pick that and then use the solution that we did for B. Okay, so if I use up this column, then I end up being in B's cell, right? Remember, I'm at the question mark point. If I am right here at the question mark and I use the vertical extractor to move forward, I will end up at B. है ना? Does that
Yes,
make
Professor.
right? So similarly, when I am at the question mark area and I move the horizontal extractor above, I will end up at the particular cell which is labeled A.
Yes.
Okay, anyone else has any question?
Sir, why did we add +1?
We added +1 for the case of B because vertical extractor can pick the coins right above the cell which is labeled A. Okay,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
that's the reason I'm adding one there. I can only pick one coin, so I'm not gonna add any more. But if there are any coins, I'm gonna add one. All right, let's move on to the worksheet, unless there are any questions. What is this game called? यार मैं जब इसका नाम रख रहा था आई वाज बिट लो ऑन क्रिएटिविटी, तो इसका नाम मैंने गोल्ड एक्स रख दिया फॉर गोल्ड एक्सट्रैक्टर. इफ यू हैव अ बेटर नेम तो मैं इसका नाम चेंज कर दूंगा. So when checking B, we check the column above B. So when you're constructing the solution for B, so you would have to look at the cell right above B. So this would be the cell I'm going to look at to compute the solution for B, and this is the cell that I'm going to look at to compute the solution for B. In the same fashion, जो मैंने question mark cell के लिए किया, right? You look at the cell right above and you look at the cell right to the right. Okay. And potentially add one to them depending on does that column contains any coins or not. All right, I'm gonna give you some time because we are running out of time. I want you guys to do 2 worksheets अगर हम कर सकते हैं तो, okay. I think Zainab already, let me just confirm. Zainab, do we
Yes,
have the
sir. I
worksheet in
already
LMS?
published the answer portal for worksheet 6. It's available on tests and quizzes वाला जो section है on LMS.
Everyone head to LMS. I'm gonna show you the questions right on my screen and you're gonna write down your answers right in the LMS. Let me know when everyone is there. All right. Raise hands if you have found the corresponding worksheet 6 on LMS. Okay, okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay, most of you are already there. कहीं पे किसी को issue आ रहा है तो please Zainab को DM कर लें, okay? You should be able to see the question on your screen right now. So this is your worksheet. इसके अंदर I think there are 4 or 5 questions. 4 questions है मेरे ख्याल में. There are parts. For each part you write separate answer in a text box. Okay. The questions are not visible on LMS. Questions are right on my screen. All right. So here's what the worksheet is about. You're going to be given input as a string and a dictionary of strings. Okay. And you have to output yes if there is a segmentation possible and no if it's not. Okay, so your algorithm is going to spit out either yes or no, though possibilities. And here are the word break rules. Decide whether S can be segmented into sequence of dictionary words. The segmentation must cover the entire string, and you can reuse the words from the dictionary. All right. Okay. So with this knowledge, go ahead and solve question 1, which is you're given some example strings and corresponding dictionaries, and you have to check whether it's yes or no. Okay, so for question 1, just answer yes and no for each one of them. There are 4 strings, and go ahead if there are any quick confusion to let me know. So the first string is taco cat. Dictionary contains taco and cat. There's an obvious answer. So the question is, can you split the whole string into words from the dictionary?
सर वर्ड्स में लेटर्स ओवरलैप कर सकते हैं?
Split करना है string को.
Okay.
No, overlap नहीं होगा. Overlap नहीं होगा. The segmentation that you are going to find is not overlapping. Talal, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question? Talal Tayyib.
No, I accidentally raised my hand. Well,
Okay. No issues. All right, the second string is robot dance. Third string I'm not going to spell out because I think my spell के other pair you will know the answer. The last string is apple, pen, apple. Raise hands if you're done with the question 1.
The question सही से समझ नहीं आया कि इसमें करना क्या.
Okay. You have to answer yes and no. And there are 4 instances of string and dictionaries. Okay. So you given string को आपने split करना है और split आपने करना है उन words में जो dictionary में available है. Okay. And you are allowed to use the same word multiple times. It's my power. Raise hands if you are done with question 1. Or if you
Sir,
have
same letter cannot repeat, right? In different words.
same word can repeat.
But same letter cannot. Right?
Same letter. As such, you should not be looking at individual letters. Okay, you should be looking at words and strings. Strings are, of course, made up of letters or alphabet, but dictionary contains the words that you need to use to split the string. Okay, cool. Looks like everyone made decent progress on question 1. Is it? It's not necessary to use. No, it's not necessary to use all the words in the dictionary. Yes, it's not necessary to use all the words. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next question. Does anyone need me to stay on question 1? Okay, moving on. You have to fill up this single row of table. So we're going to recurse on something called WB. That's going to be state. वो हम next question में define करेंगे. लेकिन अभी हम ये करने जा रहे हैं कि we are going to hypothetically, intuitively build what WB is going to look like. Okay. So a string is, for example, S in this case, and dictionary is apple, comma pen. We're going to fill WB row with true false values for I is equal to 0 through 13. Okay. So you have to think for yourself that what should WB of 0 be? What should it, I don't know, not mathematically or recursively, just intuitively, what should it mean? Okay, you want to solve the solution for this. इसमें मैं आपको एक hint देना चाहूँगा वो ये है कि WB of 13 should be the answer to the final question. Okay, so the final question is, can you construct string S using the words from your dictionary? Okay, since I think this string contains 13 letters, the WB of 13 should be yes. If the answer, for example, first question के जो fourth part था ना, if the answer is yes for that part, तो फिर 13 वाली जगह पे yes आना चाहिए. If that answer was no, तो फिर WB of 13 should be no. Okay? अब you have to hypothetically think कि WB of I का इसमें क्या मतलब होगा. For example, WB of 0 क्या होना चाहिए. This is somewhat इसके ऊपर I'm open for discussion. Okay, if you have a question, so it's a fair thing. I'm kind of asking you to think about it on your own. But why WB of 30? Because there are 13 letters in the string, right? So WB of the length of the string should mean that the answer is either yes or no for the whole string. Okay. Okay. So, right. Yeah. I think Omar is on mark here. So WBF 0 means everything below index 0. Okay. So WBF 0 represents the answer to an empty string. Okay. If S was an empty string, then WBF 0 is the answer to that string. Yes, absolutely, Javeen. WBF 0 represents an empty string. And yes, yeah. Yes, WB of 0 is always true.
So WBF5 Apple represent करेगा.
So it represents first 5 letters, which is Apple. Yes, it does. So WBF4 represents 4 letters, okay? Remember that. WBF0 was empty string, okay? WBF1 is string of length 1. I'm just asking people to, थोड़े से आंसर लोगों ने दिए. For example, someone said कि WBF0 is true, which makes sense. WBF5 is true, which is fine. Anything between 0 and 5 is not true. And WB of 8 is true. Yeah, 5 plus WB of 8 is true. Manish, can you read out if I missed any of the questions? Answer format is just a string. Just write down true, false, maybe in a column or in a comma separated string. Or you can just write true for whatever values this is true. Okay, just write the WB of this, and this is true.
प्रोफेसर ये तो सारे WP के मतलब पूछ ही रहे हैं मतलब ट्रू हो गया या नहीं एक एक
It's
करके
okay.
आपसे निकलवाते जा रहे हैं
It's okay. It's okay.
Another question.
Any other particular 3, 5, and possible sums of 3 and 5? Okay, so Aman Beg ne question kiya, which I think is interesting one. So he says that WB of 3 kya hona chahiye? Should it be true or false? Anyone? It depends on how you define it, right? So WBF3 मेरे हिसाब से false होना चाहिए, because in my mind WBF3 represents the answers to the first 3 letters of the string. It does not represent any 3-letter string answer. Okay, so WBF3 to me represents the answer to the first 3 letters of the string, not any 3-letter strings. So it's not true. Yes. Yeah. All right, I'm assuming that everyone is good with question 2. Raise hand if you are not. You need more time for question 2. Okay. Michelle said She needs more time. Talal needs more time. Okay.
Sir, I actually had a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
So WB of 0, what does it represent? I'm a bit confused.
Right. It's kind of a base case. It says that if I have an empty string, then I can split it into strings from my dictionary. If I say that you cannot split empty string, then I won't be able to recurse on anything, right? It's kind of a base case that trivial case that I need. That empty string is always already segmented in my rule book. Okay, so if you give me an empty string, there is nothing to segment. So I'm just gonna say true. That's all. Hope that helps.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Fahad? Fahad Rasul, bolo. Fahad Rasul Dar, you have your hand raised.
सर टाइम के लिए किया हुआ था
Okay,
अभी सॉल्व कर रहा हूँ
okay. Okay, so 2 is still on the display while I move to question 3. Okay, so I kind of gave you answer for question 3 part A. Just fill it up, okay? Complete the state definition. What is WBFI? I just kind of told you a minute ago what WBFI represents, okay? It represents true when and it represents false when. That's the answer. So
Professor, for
yeah.
question 2, someone asked that you said WB13 represents the final answer, but what about the second apple that also completes at the 13th index?
Index. So WB of 13 in my dictionary represents in my dictionary दो दफा यूज हो रहा है यहाँ पे in my जो भी मैं सोच रहा हूँ okay in my thinking WBF 13 represents the answer to the first 13 letters. If I pick the first 13 letters of a string, can I split those using the words in the dictionary? If the answer to that question is yes, then WBF 13 is true. If the answer is no, then WBF 13 is false. Okay, regardless of how many, I don't know, how many times a word is being used. Chunki the whole string contains 13 letters, it means that WB of 13 also represents the answer to the question whether the whole string can be split into words from the dictionary. All right, so I think we answered third question, part A, part B. Part C is, I think, where I want you guys to spend some time. Think about it. I'm gonna shut up for the next 30 seconds. Want you to think about it. Part 3 of question 3. All right. So this is the part where we are actually trying to develop a dynamic programming solution to it. Okay. I'm open to ideas or questions. What is J? Then you have to think it. अब आप ये सोच रहे हो कि मैंने recursively WB of I find out करना है. Okay. And the third part, it's kind of a hint towards doing that. It says that you somehow have to do splits, and it says that you're going to have to check all possible splits. This is what J represents. J is an index, anything less than I. What does we mean by state? By state, we mean anything that we are going to memoize on. Okay, we are going to do state is our memo. Okay, what are we going to use? Um, State is our table. Okay. We don't know the length of this final word in advance. We know the length of string S, and we know the length of each of the words in the dictionary. Are we defining a conditional for when WP will be true and when it will be false in Q3 part A? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. C. Dictionary may contain all possible combinations for the target string, something like the power set. So let me just try to so how would you solve it? Okay, so you have a large string which contains some other strings. How would you figure out whether this string is for example, a sentence, right? How do you make sentences? You make sentences by picking up words from the dictionary. Is it a valid sentence? For example, grammar could be, let's throw it out of the window. Okay, let's say there is no grammar. You have words and you are making sentences. A valid sentence is just a combination of words. How would you figure it out whether a sentence is a valid sentence? Why do we even need to check all split points? That's a question to ask. Yes. And I want you to think about it. So Arif, how would you do it? How would you find a split that satisfies our requirement? Remember, we are building a recursive solution. We should be able to figure out answer to WB based on answers to sub problems. We are the same WB जो हमने memorize किया हुआ है.
सो ये जो हमने स्प्लिट किया है उसमें जितने भी मतलब जो दोनों वर्ड्स बन रहे हैं अगर वो दोनों डिक्शनरी से कंपोज हो सकते हैं तो आई थिंक दैट्स फाइन हमें मजीद स्प्लिट्स देखने की क्या जरूरत है
But
वहीं पे रुक नहीं जाना चाहिए
what if the string contains a million words? How do you
सर स्प्लिट तो एक ही जगह करना है ना हमने या मल्टीपल करना है
you can definitely have multiple splits, right? There's no कहीं पे नहीं लिखा हुआ कि it's just a combination of two words. I mean, you can have
अच्छा
million words in a
ठीक है
sentence, है ना?
ठीक है
क्या
सर
क्या
अगर हमारे पास डब्ल्यू बी की अरे है और लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल हमने 13 ढूंढना है देन वी कैन गो डाउन इन द अरे एंड अगर कोई दो वैल्यूज लाइक 2 होती हैं जिनका सम हमारी डिजायर्ड वैल्यू के बराबर है
हाँ
तो वो भी 2 होएगी
हाँ so
तो
देखो
एक
तुम जो चीज डिजाइन कर रहे हो ना so what he's saying is that I'm gonna keep WB of I to be true if there is an I length word in my dictionary. Is that what you're thinking?
नहीं कि लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर 13 है और
Right,
हम पीछे जा रहे हैं और हम नोटिस करते हैं कि 5 पर वो सॉरी 8 पर 2 है
right.
और लाइक 5 पर 2 है और 8 प्लस 5 13 होता है तो 13 भी 2 है
I understand 8 wala part. Okay, if you understand that this is true, at this point we have a true. अब यहाँ पे true है. Why do you need it to be true at 5?
क्योंकि उनका सम शुड बी
But ये तो
टोटल
but it's possible कि यहाँ पे अब for example ये इस केस में तो apple दो दफा आ रहा है. But let's say कि आपकी जो string है that looks like apple, pen, and something stupid. For example, seg me. Okay, अब यहाँ पे you will look at this, ये true होगा आपके पास. You look at this is also true. So would you return true for 13?
No.
You should not, है ना?
Yes.
Okay, I think Mohira has something to say.
Can we say कि मतलब जो हम लोग सब प्रॉब्लम्स वाली बात कर रहे थे, इफ वी स्टार्ट विद के अच्छा हम 13 पे पहुंचने के लिए पहले एप्पल तक ट्रू था, फिर पेन भी ट्रू था, तो अब हमने लास्ट सिर्फ अगले एप्पल का चेक करना है. पिछला वाला वी हैव ऑलरेडी रिकॉर्डेड समवेयर कि दैट इज ट्रू, एंड देन उसके बाद वाले जो फॉल्स हैं वो इज द डिक्शनरी वर्ड, एंड देन अनदर ट्रू, तो उसके बाद वाला फिर एक और डिक्शनरी वर्ड, और अब हमने सिर्फ लास्ट वाले का चेक करना. सो एसेंशियली जहां तक हमने जाना है उस पॉइंट पे हम सिर्फ उसी को कैलकुलेट करेंगे.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So what she's saying is that I know that this part can be split. ये जो first 8 letters वाला part है, it can be split into dictionary words. So what I do is I'm gonna check this remaining part. Does this exist as a word in my dictionary or not? Okay, if this exists as a word in my dictionary and the earlier part or the prefix of this word is already true, तो फिर the whole string is true. Make sense? All right. So if I have some string, I don't even care what that string is, but I know कि उस string के end के ऊपर true लिखा हुआ है और इसके बाद जो word आ रहा है वो already मेरी string के अंदर है, तो फिर this whole string should return to true. Okay. Okay, so Danish says, okay, what about remaining substring J to I? अब जो part 3 है C part C है question 3 का, it's saying that के so it says that this is not necessarily going to always work. So what is possible is that if I have let me construct an example from somewhere here. ये वाली कर लेते हैं. Okay, so let's say this is your string cats and dog. Okay, और आपके पास जो डिक्शनरी है उसके अंदर you have cats, you have and you have and dog.
प्रोफेसर मेरा सवाल था,
क्या?
WB0 हमेशा ट्रू होगा?
WB0 is always true.
प्रोफेसर तो आई वाज थिंकिंग अगर हम पहला कैरेक्टर एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं
Okay.
तो वो तो कोई रिक्वायरमेंट फुलफिल तो नहीं करेगा सच,
Yes.
बट देन फिर ट्रू कैसे होगा?
So तुम एक टेक्निकलिटी की तरफ रेफर कर रहे हो. So as such WB का जो definition है, it's going to refer to the solution to the string from 0 to index I minus 1. Does this solve your problem?
Let me think about it.
Yeah, so because if the first letter is not as a word in the dict, तो फिर WBF1 is false.
तो इधर तो हम बस वो जिस तरह इंडेक्सेस को ट्रैक कर रहे हैं वो डिफरेंट है, लाइक 0 to 13 या 1 to 13.
No, we're keeping one extra index. Remember, अगर सिर्फ indexing की बात होती तो we would only have WB from 0 to 12 because there are 13 letters.
say कि
So
हम
we keep
length को
keeping
track
one
करें.
extra answer for this empty string specially. वो एक special answer है. Okay, this is always going to be there.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Sir, I've sent a solution to your personal message. Can you please check if it is correct?
Sorry, once again.
I have sent a solution to your personal message. Can you please check if it is correct?
Where do I do it? कहाँ पे है? उस पे Slack पे है?
No, on Zoom. On Zoom.
यार on Zoom पे it's really hard for me to go and see कि कहाँ पे क्या है. Can you send it to Munish maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is the string I'm gonna come to in a second, but let me just complete this example. So if I have a string which is cats and dog, and I have a dictionary which contains three words, cats and dog, and dog just as a word. Okay. So here, what's gonna happen is you're gonna say that at the end of cats, which is WB4, I think, it's gonna be true. और उसके बाद at the end of and it's gonna be true as and उसके बाद you would check whether dog exists as a word in the dictionary or not, and if it does not, I'm gonna just report false, which is not good, right? This string is splittable. This string is splittable if I don't split and as a separate word. Okay, so if I split it into cats um, and dog, तो फिर this is split into two words, which works. This is what the third part of question 3 is referring to, that you should check all possible splits jahan jahan pe you have a true for W. Okay, so what it's saying is that when you're constructing WB of 13, you should look at WB of all possible places jahan pe true आया था आपके पास. Okay, not just the last one. Okay, so for example, अगर आपके पास 8 पे true आया था, you should check whether this thing is a word in your dictionary, and if you have it 5, so you should check whether this thing is possibly also in the dictionary. All right, Maisa, go ahead.
सर मैंने यही समझना था आगे से.
Okay, cool. Marshall?
Sir, we have to check at every possible index because the word in our dictionary can be one character long as well, right?
Right. That's possible. Yeah. But you only need to check wherever WB was true. That's a prerequisite. अगर कहीं पे वो false है तो फिर तो कोई फायदा नहीं है अगर वो word exist भी करता है dictionary में, right? So, but yeah, wherever you have WB true, you have to check it. All right, so that's the answer for C part of question 3. Should I move on? Raise hands or give me a thumbs up. Do you need 10 seconds to write down this? Okay. Okay.
वैसे क्वेश्चन में तो जो पार्ट सी है उसमें कहीं ये नहीं लिखा कि जहाँ पे ट्रू होगा उसके बाद वाली स्ट्रिंग देखनी है, चेक करनी है.
ये उसके आंसर में लिखना है, आपने क्वेश्चन में नहीं लिखा हुआ. क्या?
एंड
Okay.
प्रोफेसर यहाँ पे जे क्या रिप्रेजेंट करता है?
So J represents any index before I, right? So इसके आंसर में आपने लिखना है कि इसके आंसर में आपने ये लिखना है कि
मुझे
मुझे
आंसर
ऐसे
तो
लग
पता
रहा है
चल
कि मैं आप
गया
लोगों को चीटिंग करवा रहा हूँ. मुझे ऐसे फील हो रहा है कि वो आई डोंट नो.
प्रोफेसर
मुझे
मैं तो आपको
बहुत
पहले से ही कह रहा था, आपने आपने
मुझे
मेरी बात नहीं सुनी.
मुझे अब गिल्टी फील होना शुरू हो गया. Okay. All right. So J represents any index before I. Okay. Which could mean that check all possible J indices where WB is true, and anything after J and before I is a word.
Also, sir, is there a set format for the state definition, or can we just write it in our own words?
Write it in your own words. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, Professor, uh, like, shall we move the case up a bit because 10 minutes रहते हैं if you want to do the other worksheet as well. तो
मुझे नहीं लगता ये मैं इनको होमवर्क दे दूंगा. वो ये घर जाके कर देंगे. वो बगैर चीटिंग के कर लेंगे ये. Okay, so moving on to question 4. Okay, so question 4 में हम चीजें थोड़ी सी regress करेंगे. Okay, so question 4 part A says that let's write down WB recursively. This is where math comes. आपने formally बताना है कि what should WBFI be if I'm writing a program to compute WBFI. Basically, whatever you wrote as an answer to C, you have to formally write it as a formula or something. Okay, so WBFI is equal to what? Any hints? Any ideas? कैसे करें?
फिर बेस केस होएगा WBF0 ट्रू है.
क्या? So
बेस केस में
WBF
WBF
that's a
0
good
सेट
start.
करेंगे.
WBFI is 0 if I is equal to 0. Okay. 0 की बजाय यहाँ पे मैं I don't know 0 कह लो. Okay. 0 or false. Okay. Oh, sorry. WBFI is true whenever. Sorry. You're right. मैं मिस कर रहा हूँ यहाँ पे. It's either 1 or it's true. Okay. You can always split the empty string by definition. अच्छा, उसके बाद would it be everything I to j minus 1 must be valid like int. Uh, uh, so थोड़ा सा और मुझे ideas then I'm gonna help you with it. Here's a hint. There's going to be a for loop. For loop आपको डालना पड़ेगा WBFI के लिए. I don't know, मैथमेटिकली भी लिख सकते हैं बट फॉर लूप में लिख लेंगे तो थोड़ा सा आसान हो जाएगा. सो दिस इज व्हाट आई एम थिंकिंग. ओके, WBFI, I'm going to start it with false. Okay, then I'm going to loop for something. Okay, ये आपने फिगर आउट करना है कहाँ से शुरू करना है, मैंने लूप और कहाँ पे जाना है. और वहाँ पे जाके मैंने WBFJ को चेक करना है कि if WBFJ is true, और उसके बाद फिर आपने एक और चेक लगाना है जो मैं आपको नहीं बताऊंगा, और उसके बाद आपने करना है कि दिस इज ट्रू तो फिर WBFI is true. Right.
Professor, can you please zoom out?
Zoom out. Okay.
सर हम इसको टॉप डाउन और बॉटम अप दोनों में लिख सकते हैं मतलब को
Right. हाँ.
आपने
Sorry, no,
टॉप डाउन
so this is the answer to part A. I assume कि आपके पास जो टेक्स्ट बॉक्स है वो A के लिए होगा, तो A के टेक्स्ट बॉक्स में आपने लिखना है.
हाँ जी बट मैं ये पूछना चाह रही हूँ कि हम आपने लूप स्टार्ट किया फ्रॉम द लास्ट इंडेक्स, इफ वी स्टार्ट फ्रॉम द 0th इंडेक्स उस वाले फॉर्म में भी लिख सकता हूँ या हम रिकरेंस अपनी वो टॉप डाउन ही कर रहे हैं.
थोड़ी सी आपको डेफिनेशन चेंज करनी पड़ेगी WBI की, बट यू कैन डेफिनेटली डू इट. यस.
ओके ओके.
What does the question essentially ask for?
It says, how am I going to recursively compute WBI? The remaining part is just a hint. It says that you have to use split points J. Okay, so you have this string S, okay, and let's say this is somewhere I, और यहाँ पे आपने WBFI compute करना है. you have to answer whether this whole string up till point I is splittable or not. Okay. अब जो क्वेश्चन 3 में हमने आंसर डिजाइन किया था, इट सेज दैट यू हैव टू चेक all possible j's which are smaller than s. वहां पे जाके आपने टेस्ट करना है कि फॉर एग्जांपल इफ दिस इज द पॉइंट और इट्स पॉइंट के ऊपर wbi is true and the remaining string is in my dictionary, तो फिर wbfi should be true, right? That's the answer we designed in question 3. All right, thumbs up if we are done with question 4 part A. Okay. Abdus Samad Nasir. Okay, not yet, Maisa. It's okay. It's okay. Question? Anyone has a question? All right, all right. We have time. We can do it in the next 3 minutes. The complexity part is super easy. तो मेरे ख्याल में वो इतना मुश्किल नहीं होगा. That we can do. But if you have any questions on
So I have a question.
हाँ बोलो.
So what if there is no WBJ that is true, but still WBI is true?
That should not be possible. Because
What if
I know that WB of J is true when J is equal to 0. That's where I started with. है ना?
Oh, yes, sir, I get it.
Okay. Good.
Sir, I had a question.
Go ahead.
Sir, if we find a valid substring till the point J and उससे आगे फिर हम चेक करते हैं कि जो remaining चीज़ रह गई है is
हाँ.
it also in our dictionary or not?
हाँ.
If it's there, well and good, हमारा problem is solved. If it's not there, तो हम पिछले वाले का memo create कर लेते हैं and फिर हम recursively फिर we start from zero in our head, right? मतलब हम पिछली वाली चीज़ को kind of ignore कर सकते हैं
Right.
to some extent, right?
Yeah. ऐसे भी डिजाइन कर सकते हैं आपका सोल्यूशन. उसमें आई थिंक मुहिरा भी इस तरह का कुछ डिजाइन कर रही थी. उसमें इट वुड बी गुड आइडिया इफ यू स्टार्ट you define your WBI to be a string that's splittable from point I onwards. Okay? Or your answer is going to be WB0 उस केस में. That you want you want to say whether the string starting at 0 till everywhere it goes is true or not. And WB of 13 would be 0 in that case. Absolutely सारा कुछ upside down हो जाएगा जो अभी हमने define किया. But you can do it. You can design it that way. That's also correct answer.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, guys, we're running out of time. मेरे ख्याल में you can do it right now. I'm gonna give you 30 minutes maybe. Zainab 30 minutes extra दे दें deadline को, okay? So they can fix it. उसके बाद you're going to get a couple of hours more. So it's 2:30 के ऊपर इसकी deadline होगी और उसके बाद फिर 5:30 के ऊपर is gonna be deadline for worksheet 3. उसमें you're allowed to talk to each other, okay? So you get
Professor, you have back-to-back classes till 4:30.
5:30 does not work. 6:30.
Sir, homework रहने दे, sir.
I assume that this should not take you more than half an hour. But let's see. Okay,
Sir,
6:30
can
कर
we
लेते
do
हैं.
after Saturday because like classes काफी late तक चलती हैं. फिर सारी time हो जाएगा. Can
स्टार्ट
we do
कहाँ
like
आता है?
yeah, sir, can we do like after
Zainab,
Saturday, please?
second worksheet की deadline midnight कर लो. ये वाली worksheet is gonna end at 1:30 or 2:30. Okay. Second one is gonna end at midnight. Okay. Let me just quickly show you the second one. है ना? Just to if you have couple of minutes. I'm gonna keep it like this. किधर है? Okay, there's something called regular expression in Linux command prompt and I don't know grep वगैरह कभी आप लोगों ने यूज किया हो. what it does is it matches strings with wildcards. Okay, so for example, यहाँ पे जो examples दिखाई हुई हैं, if I try to find फाइल जिसमें मुझे पता है कि उसके नेम में रिपोर्ट आता है और वो पीडीएफ फाइल है, पर उसका कंप्लीट नेम मुझे नहीं याद, then I can find it using report static dot pdf. Okay, it will find me everything that starts with a string report, contains something, and then has dot pdf. तो फिर that's gonna be a very helpful thing. Okay, इसको wildcard matching कहते हैं, and your goal is to design wildcard matching algorithm. Okay, so you're given a string, think of it as a file name or something, okay, and a wildcard pattern, and you have to figure out whether this pattern matches the string or not. Again, same pattern है, उसके warm up exercises ने कुछ की. इस केस में जो उसकी state है, it's gonna be two-dimensional dynamic programming table. You have to decide what WM of 00 is going to look like. और उसके बाद फिर you have to figure out how. Is that all? ठीक है, okay. Did I miss anything? Okay. Alright, मैं ये आपके साथ शेयर कर देता हूँ. Okay, ये मेरे ख्याल में वहाँ पे नहीं है, और Zainab will also put this on LMS as well, both of these PDFs. Zainab, ये वाली PDF मैं अपडेट करता हूँ, उसके बाद इसको पुट करना है. Okay, I'm gonna share it with you in 15 minutes. मुझे लग रहा है कि लास्ट जो फाइनल हमने रिकरेंस कंप्यूट करनी है उसका वो बहुत क्लियर नहीं है. पार्ट ए में मैंने लिखा है कि कंप्लीट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ WMIJ, but I should have a separate question which says that define WMIJ recursively. चलो ठीक है, I think that's it, guys. Have a good break and meaty Eid, and I'll see you next Wednesday, I guess.
Thank you, Professor. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, guys.
Sir, I had a
Allah Hafiz,
question
Professor.
about question 2, part C.
Sure, go ahead.
Is J the last index, the last valid index at which we found a 2, or is it any index smaller than I?
It's any index smaller than I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please share this worksheet somewhere so that
I'm
we can
gonna
work on
share.
it.
Definitely. It's gonna be shared on Slack, and it will also be on LMS.
It will be uploaded under LMS के resources tab.
Sir, will we be graded for correctness?
Partially, yes. Your submission carries about 80% of the grade. The remaining 20% is for correctness, yes.
प्रोफेसर जो भी हमने पिछला क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे, क्वेश्चन 4 में जो हमारी रिकरेंस हमने बनानी थी,
क्या
उसमें मैं अगर 2 फॉर लूप यूज कर रहा हूँ तो वो भी वैलिड रहेगा?
टाइम कम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ जाएगी उसकी.
तो अभी हम इसकी रिकरेंस एक ही फॉर लूप से लिखनी है, 2 से लिख सकते हैं?
लिख सकते हो. That's not लिख सकते हो as long as it's correct. क्या Mehreen says that order n for both time and space. No, think about it. थोड़ा सा इसके अंदर है, क्योंकि देखो, you have to compute WB of I for everything. उसके बाद उसके अंदर you are doing another loop which is for J. I don't know, maybe that's what Wahab was referring to. So it's not linear. It's gonna be more than linear.
प्रोफेसर जब अगर मेरा नेक्स्ट फॉर लूप लगेगा फिर तो n स्क्वायर हो जाएगी, मतलब क्वाड्रेटिक हो जाएगी इसकी टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी.
So मैं वही कह रहा था, if you are having 3 for loops, so that's not a great idea. But I'm not gonna penalize you for it as long as your algorithm is correct. But what I'm saying is that's not a question that would get you 100% of the marks on the long quiz. Okay, worksheet mates, okay. All right, see you next week, guys. Allah Hafiz.